Mark Zuckerberg, the billionaire founder of Facebook, has a new hobby. He's not coding or investing. He's farming, and not just any farming. He's raising one of the most expensive beef in the world, Wagyu and Angus. And they are living the high life. They are munching on macadamia nuts and sipping beer. Sounds crazy, right? But the problem is, beef production and climate change are a bad combination. Cattle farming contributes to deforestation, water scarcity, and greenhouse gas emissions. In fact, a single cow can produce up to 500 liters of methane per day, and that's a lot of gas. So by indulging in his beefy passion, Zuckerberg might be fueling a global crisis. So guys, have you ever wondered how cattle farming contributes to deforestation, water scarcity, and greenhouse gas emissions? First of all guys, beef production uses a lot of water for both the cows and the plants that they eat. 1 kilogram of beef needs about 15,000 liters of water per day. For example, in Brazil, the world's largest beef exporter, cattle consume about 11% of the country's water resources. In the heart of Brazil, in a state known as Acre, a cattle boom is causing concern for the future of the Amazon rainforest. In 2020 alone, the cattle population in Acre surged by 8.3%, reaching a staggering total of over 3.8 million. That's 4 times the human population of the state. Livestock now outnumber the state's human population by a factor of 4. However, water is not the only resource that beef production consumes and degrades. Cattle farming is a big player in tropical deforestation, causing 41% of it. That's 2.1 million hectares cleared annually, half the size of the Netherlands. Much of this is happening in Brazil, where beef production causes 24% of tropical deforestation. In fact, 72% of Brazil's deforestation is due to cattle ranching. It's not just Brazil though, other Latin American countries like Argentina and Paraguay contribute 11% to total deforestation. So most deforestation for beef happens in Latin America, with an extra 4% in Africa. So guys, next time you see a pasture or a field of feed crops, remember, it's not just land. It's a piece of the biodiversity puzzle. Having understood the broader impact of beef production on climate change, let's delve deeper into the specifics. One of the lesser known but significant contributors to this issue is a natural process that occurs within cows themselves. And for those who may not be aware, enteric fermentation is a natural process that takes place in the digestive system of cows. This process results in the production of methane. When cows consume plants, digestion leads to the creation of this gas. Interestingly, when cows burp, this methane is released into the atmosphere. And methane is a big problem for climate change and is 28 times worse than carbon dioxide over 100 years. Enteric fermentation is a big part of greenhouse gas emissions from agriculture, which makes about 25% of global emissions. In 2010, enteric fermentation made about 3.1 gigatons of carbon dioxide, equivalent or 39% of total emissions from agriculture. So guys, as you can see, beef production has a huge impact on the environment and climate change. So the questions that we got to ask ourselves are, what could be some of the possible solutions and alternatives to reduce environmental impact of beef consumption? And do you think governments have a role to play in regulating the environmental impact of the livestock industry? If so, how? Or can we not consider eliminating beef consumption for the sake of the planet? While many food emissions are inevitable due to the necessity of eating, but still, we do have the power to make conscious choices about what not to eat.